Record. We're on. Let's do this.
Oh. Oh. That was my bad. Okay. Sorry, not warmed up at all.
That's all right. No problem, man. It's the warm-up lap. It's fine. I'm just chilling. I've got a pretend Guinness, and I'm sitting in a virtual race car. It's all good.
No, too wide.
It's okay. You're on really, really cold tires at the moment, so it's not a problem.
Yeah, I'm also playing with the brake pedal is really just not intuitive for me. I'm trying to actually. You know what I need to do?
Yeah, go for it.
I need to change my volume.
No problem.
I can't hear you.
Okay, I'll make sure I'm on maximum on Discord. You know, you can right click on.
Maybe
you can right click on me. Yeah, I think I am on maximum. You can right click.
Oh no, I'm on max.
So when you right click on my name, it's all the way at the top, is it?
Yeah.
Right, let me just check it's coming through the correct microphone, all that kind of thing. I'm just testing my volume. Yeah, I'm coming through the right one. I'm going to up my input volume a bit, actually. There we go. So I've gone to 100%. Is that any better?
Yeah, that's better. And I put my main volume down.
Cool.
Yeah, it's better.
That's all right. Let's go again.
Okay. So what I was saying is, I got a black flag.
That's okay. I've cleared it. There we go.
Okay. What I'm saying is, it's really hard for me to only go down 80% on the brakes.
Yeah.
It's just not intuitive.
Yeah, and you just remind me, I know we spoke about this before, is it quite a soft pedal? Is it quite easy to press it all the way?
It's easy to press it all the way. And if I don't do that, I'm tending to fly. If I don't push it all the way down, I'm flying off.
I'll tell you what, just do me a favour then, whilst we're at the beginning here, before you've got into the run. Can you share your screen with me? Just so I can see, like, I just want to see, I want to see what's happening to the brake bar when you try to go to, like, 50 to 80%, something like that. If you just share your Discord screen, sorry, share your screen on Discord, I mean, I'll just have a little look at that.
Screen.
There we go. I'm going to watch your stream. Okay, cool. Right, I can see your screen. So if you just oh yeah, I can see. Yeah. So if you just like try and brake, say like 50%.
Oh, if I try. Oh,
yeah, okay.
Yeah. 50%.
Yeah, I can see it's like really, really easy to press, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was all the way down.
Okay. Can you just exit to the menu screen and we'll just go in the control screen? Right, yeah. So just go in the options screen there. Right, let's look at it here. Yeah, okay. So when you press your foot down, does it get to 100% pressure before your foot's all the way down? So if you keep increasing.
Yeah, that's probably right there is at about 80%.
Let's just recalibrate those pedals. Let's just do that now. Just so we know that that's not an issue. So just do the normal calibration, do what it tells you to do. That's cool. And when you do the brake, obviously make sure it's all the way down as far as it can possibly go. Cool. Yep. Okay. Wow. I can see how easy it is. It's like a switch. Okay.
Yeah.
So at least we know that maximum brake. To get maximum, you have to actually press it all the way. For sure, the thing that would help you a lot is some kind of brake stiffener. So is it the T300 pedals you have?
Yeah.
So any kind of like rubber block that, like an aftermarket, I'm sure they sell the like kits for those pedals. that can firm up the brake. So you have to apply quite a lot more pressure to get to full like that. That's what's going to help you with the threshold braking, which is what we're trying to get used to here. And that is, oh, this is a good idea. Yeah, maybe change the force factor. So at the moment you're on
that's 100% range.
Yeah, see if this makes you have to press it harder or further.
So I actually think I'm holding the pedal constant right now.
Yeah, I think it was already on the best one, which is 5,
already
isn't
on
it?
the best.
Yeah. Okay, well, so, at least we tried.
I mean, the only other thing I can think of is, if I push it all the way down, that I only go to like 80% or something.
Okay, so when you go to full brake and you move the max range, what happens to that bar? So it's all the way down now, is it?
Yeah, it's all the way down.
Okay, I mean, this might be a part-time solution. Let me just check my data. Is there anywhere in this car, on this track, I get to 100% brakes? The maximum I ever have is 85, 89% is my highest. I mean, this is really like a bodge solution. It's not the ideal way, but it might take the edge off the brakes slightly by doing that. So we could
85.
try that. Yeah, well, let's maybe try it. Definitely. The long-term solution is we'll engineer a stiffer pedal, like a physically stiffer pedal. But for the moment, let's give this a try. Let's see if this stops you from flying off. I'll remove that black flag. Don't worry about that. I'll just do it. There we go. It's all clear. How have you found the cockpit not moving around on screen? Because I think we changed that before. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's better.
Good.
I don't know if it's terribly perceivable, but I do think it's better.
Well, you didn't mention it after we changed it, so that's generally quite a good thing.
Yeah.
Most people say either I never noticed or it's better, so that's good. I'm glad you stuck with it. Okay, so let's just get warmed up. Get a few laps in. It takes maybe 3 laps before these tyres are properly warm. And don't worry about any damage because it doesn't do it. It should all be turned off. So it's this next corner here that there's quite a bit more entry speed available once the tyres are warm. Your line that you were taking on the data that I saw was good, so you can definitely afford to go in quite a bit faster. I'll tell you how many miles per hour. I'll do a quick conversion. About like 20 miles per hour.
Just getting reset up. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. And if we've completely screwed the brakes, obviously feel free to go back.
Which way am I going?
Other way. Turn all the way around.
Way.
Keep going, and that's it.
All right. I just was repositioning my seat. One thing I have to contend with is me and my son are very different sizes.
Right. Okay.
Okay, I should be good though. Oh, this is full speed.
Oh, is the car broken? I thought I turned off damage, but it sounds. Oh no, so is it okay? Is it just my audio is wrong?
Okay.
Yeah, fine. I think my audio was glitching. It sounded like your engine was blown.
Ah, jeez. Okay. Come on.
We're about to find out if it fixes itself because there we go. Yeah, its damage is definitely off. I just saw your wheel return to the correct position.
Okay, good. Okay.
I'm just going to stay quiet and let you settle in. Okay, so that was a start, actually, because I watched your brake pressure go roughly to the right point, but then you backed off a bit. So you're just trying to get a feel for what you can get away with. So that's fine. We just didn't quite get enough. It started off kind of fine, but we needed a little bit more, so that's okay.
A little more brake.
Yeah, a little bit more brake. I'm watching your red bar on the brake pressure on your screen.
I'm very much trying to figure out how to not just put it to the floor, but it's hard.
Yeah, and this is part of the problem with a squishy pedal. I think I probably told you this before.
Yeah.
The whole thing about humans being better at perceiving and remembering how hard they're pressing a thing rather than how far they're moving it. We're not very good at judging how far we're moving one of our limbs in like empty space that you can't see. And obviously you're not looking at your foot when you're pressing. You're having to figure out how far it's moved. We're just not great at that. So, yeah, okay. So that was pretty good. I watched there. You got to like kind of 80, 90% on the red bar. So,
which is full down. So when I go full down, I don't have to guess, right?
Okay. Yeah.
It's when I'm trying to guess that it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard
fair
to
enough.
know.
So you'll need to go, in that case, almost full down and then like gradually reduce it as you approach the apex. That's going to be our technique with your pedals. So as the speed comes off, you can like gradually peel back off the pedal.
And that's kind of what helps me, is to be able to go all the way down, although not great. I get it.
When the pedal's stiffer, the equivalent of all the way down will be pretty hard. And then you'll be able to reduce it. That's okay. That was just a little late, but your pressure looked good. So I'm just watching that back and seeing where we braked.
Yeah, it's amazing how much I'm sliding. Okay, there we go.
Oh, and you stayed straighter for much longer that time. So well done. I mean, it was partly out of necessity because you were going a bit quick, but well done anyway. Like you stayed on the white line. Yeah. So when I brake, I'm doing the equivalent of your full down. I'm just pressing like as hard as I can, but that doesn't give me maximum pressure, because it requires more than that. So that's what will make it easier. But I think this is maybe a good halfway house. Do you have a visor clearing button?
No,
because I can see there's a lot of crap on your visor.
There's a ton.
Okay, so after this run, we'll assign you a button.
Okay.
It might be the letter T on the keyboard by default. You can always try it's like T for tear off. It might not be anything.
Oh no.
Good job. That was a decent first corner. Really decent. Okay, I was wrong about it being the letter T. That's the shortcut for text chat. Okay. Nice. Okay, this is looking much better. This is good. Okay, so this time we're going to go straight down the white line to the next corner. Brake slightly earlier than you did last time. But as you approach the apex, or the turning point even, that's when we just start to reduce the brake pressure. Nice. That's really, really good effort. That looked like you didn't have a W shape. I know this isn't your best lap ever, but I reckon when we look at the data on that, you've got a V shape to your speed trace, which is exactly what we're looking for. So let's do some more of those. And we'll fix these hairpins separately. We'll sort these out separately. So maybe let's do, say, 2 more laps. I'll remember this one, though, because I want to see the data from this one. But do similar to what you just did on that lap. That's okay. There was a little bit of dirt on the way in. Just caught the grass on the way in, so no problem. The entry speed was good. You went in at a good speed there. It didn't look stupid at all. I'm just going to look at the replay. I'm pretty sure you touched the grass on the way in. Yeah, you got 2 tyres on the dirt and the grass, and it just spun you around. No drama. Good line through there. Nice job. Really, really nice.
Oh.
Okay, I know we went wide because we came off the brake pressure a tiny bit too much, but you did the right thing. You braked hard initially, and then you gradually reduced the pressure. We just reduced it a little bit too much, too early. That's all. So I think you probably went through the middle of the corner like 5 kilometers an hour quicker than I would. That's the only reason you ran wide. Oh, nicely done through that. That was a good save. I think you can smash your best lap in this session today.
Little too hard.
Right, let's do one more. And don't worry if it doesn't go perfectly.
Ah!
Finish the lap anyway, because it'll be good just to practice the other corners. I'm just seeing exactly what... Yeah, we're just a little bit late on the brakes that time. Just a little bit late. And I mean, you had to brake really hard whilst you turned. Nice. That was a really well-judged corner. Really decent.
Am I going too far in the grass, though?
Oh, on the inside? Yeah, we don't want to touch the grass on the inside there, but...
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad at all. Okay, so this time, same as before, just keep a little bit more pressure on at the middle of the corner.
I kind of got squirmy.
Yep, that's fine. Yeah, we touched the grass on the way in and then kind of came right off the brakes a little bit too early, that's all. That's okay, we can still just practice these final few corners. That's nice and controlled through there. Similar there. That's okay. I'm going to talk about exactly what happened there. So we're going to do a few other little tidy up sections on the rest of the track before we go again. So once you've crossed the finish line in a moment, just stop anywhere on the track and just exit the car so the data uploads. Awesome. Right, so make sure you can see my screen. And we're just going to look through, first of all, that last lap.
Where's the tear off?
Good shout. So if you go to control.
Yep.
It'll be on the left side there somewhere. Tear off should be there somewhere. Oh yeah, it's there. It's Alt T, so you can reassign it. It's in the top left section, so a little bit higher up, near the bottom of in-car systems. Tear off visor. Just change that to something you can actually click.
Okay.
Sweet. Then you can just click that. I do mine regularly, like once a lap, basically. Cool. So, can you see my screen? Awesome.
Yes.
Right. So this was your last lap. I know this wasn't your best lap. This was, we had a couple of offs, but I'm just going to show you a couple of things. So, let's have a little look. Yeah. So this was the corner I said was really good. The long corner at the bottom. Everything except driving on the grass there was good. So just like, just get on the path. You shouldn't be able to get on the grass, because we should be going fast enough that it would understeer wide. If you tried to drive on the grass, the car couldn't do it. So we'll just go slightly quicker right here. So just a little bit more gas. And obviously don't turn right as quite as hard. But that's fine. Your entry speed looked really nice. So here was our hairpin on that last lap. So we know this one didn't go well. You touched the grass. You kind of knew that. But you got back on the track.
Yeah,
And at this point here, I think you kind of like gave up with the brakes and came almost all the way off, and that's why we ran wide. So I can actually hear there's no brakes. So previous laps, though, you did that corner really well, and we're going to look at that in a minute. The reason I'm scooting through this lap is just because right near the end, this happened, right? So this was the outcome. We ran wide there in the penultimate corner, but the reason was something really simple to fix. So the only reason I'm showing you this is just to make sure you don't do this again. So as you came off the second of the 2 hairpins near the end of the lap, we got to the exit, and even though the track went straight, we just kept turning right for absolutely no reason. So I'm going to just rewind here. We're going slow-mo. So the track is straight, your hands should be straight, and we just kept turning right too long. And then it meant you were like in the middle of the track when you arrived at the next corner. So there's no way we should be here. We should be over here. So this is such a normal thing though. When people are relatively new to track driving, I see this in real life as well. It's obviously a lot scarier in real life if I'm strapped in next to someone, but it happens all the time. The corner finishes, but the person steering doesn't finish. So just make sure as the track is straightening in front of you, you've got a very clear mental connection with your hand straightening in sync with the track straightening, basically. And the more we do, the more this is going to become like an automatic subconscious thing. In terms of, we're going to do loads of other more advanced steering stuff, but your hands being in a position which directly relates to where you want the car to go next is a really, really important thing. So you were just like slightly behind reality. You knew that you were on a straight. You only kind of made sure you were facing straight by here, and that was a second too late. And obviously then that caused this next problem by being a bit too tight here. Obviously, if I was being super critical, I'd say that when you realised you were here, you could have just turned left and got back to the left. Even you could have rectified it like any time now. But we were like, this'll do. This is fine, and obviously it's not fine. Okay, the next thing, since we're at this corner, when you're on the correct line, and you're wider, obviously over to the left, like on other laps, this corner should be easily flat out. On anything apart from your out lap, every other lap after the first lap, this corner should be flat out. But it's only flat out if you use this little bit of tarmac here. So if your right tyres are over the curb near the yellow line, then it's an easily flat out corner. And just to show you I'm not talking rubbish, hopefully I do it on this lap, but I'll just skip to that corner and you'll be able to see my throttle inputs here. So right, so this is the corner. In fact, just show you exiting this one, how we're dead straight, like religiously stuck to the white line.
Yeah.
But here we go. Let's go on board. Yeah, I know you can't hear it, but you can see my green throttle trace here. So I'll leave it on this. It just turns easy. It just does it really, really easily. So, and I don't even think I use that much. You can use more than that. You can be right touching the yellow line. As long as you're not past the yellow line, it won't give you a cut corner. So somewhere there. And it kind of hooks you around.
I thought it was the white line on your inside tires that mattered.
It depends. Let's see. Does this track have any specific? No, it doesn't have any specific track limits. So basically, it may well be that white line on your inside, but you're looking right, if you see what I mean. You're not looking at the outside. You're looking into the corner. So the easier reference is what your inside tyre is doing. At this point here, I'm not looking over there. I'm looking like here.
Yeah, I see.
So that'll just make it a bit easier. So when I turn into here, I know it's full throttle, so I'm not thinking about, how much do I need to lift? I just keep my foot down. But I'm just looking over there and just turning towards it. Because it's going to understeer a little. So if you just turn in slightly earlier than you might suspect, you kind of understeer into position and you get to the right point. But anyway, even that one was a bit wide, but it was easy. Right, so that's that. Now let's look at one of your better laps. So I know you've done a quicker lap in offline testing, but this 43.3 is pretty decent considering the rest of the lap wasn't perfect. So let's see what we could do different. Turn 1, good line. Really, really good. You're slightly cautious, but I'm happy with that. That's good. Especially when you've got a clear visor, this will be much easier. Turn 2, excellent positioning out here. Like, you could not be a centimetre wider. That's really nice. They say the only thing we can change is getting to that curb, like there, like where my cursor is. That's where I'd be looking right now. And we're like a little delayed, and then we get to the inside. So we want to get to the inside, like here. like at the beginning of the curb, and hug it. So you're just a little bit late. You can see we're still moving away from the inside like here. So turn 2, just slightly earlier to the inside, but you got there, no problem. We're just slightly cautious, turn 1 and turn 2, but no problem. We're trying to keep the thing on the track. This one, how did this go? A little bit wide, yeah. Okay, so a couple of things. So this one, we've given away a bit of space here, and I'm sure we've said before, every inch or fraction. I don't know what the equivalent to millimeters is in American, but what's like a fraction of an inch? A small amount of half an inch, a quarter of an inch, whatever that is. Yeah. Every one of those narrower than the white line is a bit tighter steering angle you're going to need to use in the middle of the corner, and therefore less speed that you're capable of carrying. So maximize the entry width, and then you'll just have an easier time in the middle of the corner. I know you don't want to go on the grass, but you could definitely be a bit wider. Actually, this is quite a simple one, because you're coming off this flat out section. Right here, you can like aim at it, so you've got all this time to position the car. Obviously, you're in a corner, but it's not really a corner at this point. It's so gentle. All you're having to do is come off this turn somewhere here, and you'll naturally arrive there. You don't even have to like drive there deliberately. It should just, the car should go there because you're already aiming at it from right back here. So, like, now we can be level and just dead straight down there. But obviously being careful of the grass. And then because of that, we went in a little late here. The speed wasn't bad, though. Speed was pretty good. So whatever you did on the brakes on this lap, do that again. Like, the entry speed was good. And that's part of what we've been working on. Now, here's the hairpin this time. How did this go? Little bit of grass, but you didn't panic, and you made it through. Okay, we ran slightly wide on the exit because we got on the power slightly early. So we still slowed down a little bit more than like the maximum the car can cope with, but I still think that's better than in the data that we were looking at. I think that's better. So this is going to be a bit more of like a flat V shape, I reckon, because you've got a bit of a constant speed. You get down to your minimum by now, pretty much, 80, you maybe go slightly lower, and we stay 77, 78, 80, we're still at 81, we're at 82. So we've been roughly 80 from all the way back here, all the way to about here. So that's what we're going to just tweak, if we can, on the next one. We want to have a singular minimum speed right in the middle, like there. So we'll be slowing down until here, and then immediately speeding back up again. So, but this is the halfway. This is like the first step to getting there. Before, you were like nearly stopped here, accelerating to here, and then stopping again, and then accelerating again. Now you're getting down to that speed and like holding a constant throttle, rather than like trying to speed up to it. So I'll tell you what, this is a good moment to pause and look at the data and see what it actually looks like here. So let's grab that. I love this stage of development because it's all like, it feels like annoyingly difficult, and your brake pedal isn't helping you, I have to say. But there's going to be so many big chunks of like lovely lap time that start coming really soon. Right, let's add it to this, and let's make it green, and hopefully I wasn't just seeing ghosts, and that actually is better. Yes, it's way better. All right, so it's way better. It's exactly what I thought, really. Okay, there's still a slight W shape. We're looking at the green line now. That's your latest one. But it's nowhere near as exaggerated as it was on your best one you did offline, which was this big stop here, accelerate in, another stop here, accelerate out. Now you're like down to a much later early minimum, and you're braking way... I mean, look how close the green is to the blue. Like, all the way here, you're basically matching me. You're so much closer. And look how much later your braking is. Look, you're now braking basically where I'm braking, give or take a few meters. So you're starting at 1940. I'm starting at 1942. I can't really tell you off for that. That's bloody good. Before you were all the way back here. So your braking point now is spot on, give or take a couple of meters. But because you're still braking a little harder here, although what we've done with the calibration has worked, because look, you've not gone above 85, and I'm at 86. That's really good. So that's working.
Right, just a hard sharp.
But we just kept it on a bit long. So this bit here where you stayed on a little bit long and then came, bam, completely off. If we can, we want to make that more diagonal, you know, like more of a gradual release rather than like heavily on, bang off. You want to be heavily on, and then here, at this point where you're just about to start cranking on more steering lock, that's where we want to start just reducing. That's all. Because the reason it went all the way out here, look at the green line, like that's the line that you took. Perfect, 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 suddenly wide. Let's pause there and see what's happening with the throttle at that exact point. Well, you can see the white line on the trace over here. You're on the throttle. That's why that's running wide. Look, everything's fine right now, except I'm not on the gas till here. You're on the gas all the way back here before you've even got to the middle. So you actually screwed yourself up by being a little bit early. You know, you were trying to get going sooner than you could. That's it. If you did everything the same and you just waited off the throttle until you got around the corner a bit more. So we're talking... Now we could start picking it up. Whereas you've started... I'm going to just listen to it. You're already on it here. I can hear blah, 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 blah. Now. You're on it now. We want to get on it now. And be as tight as you can. That's the difference. Then the corner's perfect. Then you've, like, totally fixed it. So... The next run, same braking point, same braking intensity, but don't keep it on exactly the same all the way into the braking zone. You're going to be hard on the brakes, like here to about here. So most of the straight line bit of the braking. But then when you come to start turning in, where that initial bit of the turn in, and in fact all the way up to the inside, reduce, weight off the throttle, then start to squeeze it on when you're like about to exit rather than when you're still on the way in. Then you've fixed it. But damn good effort there. Like, I'm really, really pleased with that. It felt like you'd done that better, and you did. So that's good. Right, okay, let's just quickly check over the rest of the data. Is there anywhere else we can... Look, okay, so I told you the next corner as well you could carry a bit more speed, and you did, actually. You did go in quicker. You went in at 90k, well, actually minimum 86 as opposed to 82. But at this point here, you were doing 75 before, and now you're doing 91. So you're definitely doing that better. The reason this doesn't look much, much better is because you came off the hairpin really badly, because you went so wide. So if you hadn't done that, this would also look better. You just didn't have a chance to get up to this speed. So let's reserve judgment on that. I don't want to tell you any more about the other corners, because I don't want to make you forget everything we just spoke about there. So let's go do another run, absolutely nail that corner, and then we'll do a bit of others. The last thing, actually, we've already spoken about, you can be flat out in the penultimate corner, that's all. So just do that one, full throttle, use a bit of like the curb, like hook your wheel over the curb. That's it. Let's go.
Okay. All right.
Well done for figuring out how to get into Garage 61 and, you know, look at the data and stuff yourself. That's really good.
Yeah, it was actually cool. It was nice to see that I was improving and could see where.
Yeah, that's really good. I'm going to send you some links to brake pedal stiffening kits. And so so it's you've got the T300 pedals. I'm going to check actually just to make sure I'm looking at the right ones whilst you're on your outlap. I'll send you an image on Discord. Yeah, is it a black plastic base with silver pedals?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there's definitely kits. Okay, and it's like $20, and it will like vastly improve your oh, there's even an official one. Don't worry, it's just the outlap. I don't care. Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember because I had these pedals and I bought this exact same kit. It's actually $7.99 from Thrustmaster.
Perfect.
I'm sending you the link right now.
I'm gonna get it right away.
I'm not joking. It will make it like 100% easier than it currently is. I remember what it felt like.
I have a stupid question.
Yep, go for it.
Are you? I think I should know this. Are you only using your right foot between pedal and brake?
My right foot's just on the gas. My left foot's on the brake.
So you are okay. I wonder if that's messing me up.
So what are you doing? Are you right foot braking?
I'm only doing right foot.
Okay. I mean, it depends what you're used to, if I'm honest. Like, if you're not used to left foot braking, I mean, I would advise starting to get used to it, to be honest, because it is a relatively important part of being as quick as possible. But
okay.
I mean, see how it feels braking with your left foot. If you're not used to it, you'll probably be way worse with that to begin with. I'm sending you another link, and then I'll stop sending. There we go. But yeah, there's obviously much less of a delay if you use your left foot for braking and your right foot for accelerating. It also means you can do both. So there are times when, like, I'm double pedaling quite a lot to balance the car. Obviously accelerating, you shift the weight back. Braking, you shift the weight forward. If you're getting a momentum oversteer moment, you can kind of touch the gas to flatten the car out a bit. Oh man, that's so much better. So much better. Keep doing that. Keep practicing that. And brake much less for that left-hander you just went through. But, I mean, I know the data on this is going to look better already. And that technique you've done for that first hairpin is going to be basically the same at all of the tight corners. That, like, heavy initial braking, gradually bleeding off the brakes from the end of the straight into the corner, zero brakes by the time you get to the apex, patient with the rotation, so no throttle until you know you've rotated, and then back on the power. That is the technique in all the tight corners. In the more open ones, like that final corner, it all happens in a much shorter period because we're not going to be braking as long at all, and the intensity will be less, but it's still the same kind of sequence. Nice, and then you can start to squeeze the gas. Awesome. Awesome. Similar with this one. You don't really need any brakes here. It's just a lift. And then back on the gas. Nice. I like what I'm seeing.
Too far.
Little bit. Yeah, we braked a tiny bit late. That's okay. It was going well though, so that's fine. I think you're going to find a lot of lap time now you start doing this. So little bit longer. We just needed a little bit longer on the brakes. But the initial braking was perfect. Where you braked and how hard you braked was great. You just came fully off the brakes a little bit too long. You know, you're not always going to brake in an identical place. Like, you know, you're gonna be slightly different each time. But the thing that you need to keep the same is the minimum speed in the middle. Because the car has a maximum speed that it can carry through the middle of that corner. So you can stay on longer or shorter depending on exactly where you've braked. And that's down to you to judge. If it feels like, I'm going a little bit quick to make it this time, stay on longer. You don't have to come off the brakes at the same time every time. You just have to get to the same minimum speed every time. So you've got permission to, like, tweak it in real time. And if you think, oh, this feels a bit too quick, just add a little bit of pressure. If you think it feels a bit slow, remove the pressure. So no brakes for this one, just lift.
Oh.
That's okay, I'm going to tell you next time. I'll remind you a little bit earlier. There's a slight delay on obviously the video I'm watching, so I have to try and be ahead of time. Nice. Good job. Good tight line there. So do everything the same into this hairpin. Exactly like last time. Just make sure we don't stop doing that like light braking until you've actually got all the speed off.
Whoa.
It's that final part of the tight corner where you're really putting on maximum steering lock. That's where we need to be off the throttle. Same with this one. So, yeah, lovely. Really, really good. Really, really good line. And that corner, we're not going to slow down as much, and then you won't be tempted to get back on so soon. The reason you ran wide is because you got back on the power a bit soon. And we're going to turn in quite a lot earlier for that one. So much more diagonal into that final corner. So turn 1 you've been doing really well at, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut into here.
A little wide.
Yeah, we'll turn in a little earlier. This next corner, turn 2, don't brake, just lift. And only a little lift as well. You can start to squeeze the power. That's okay. That's fine.
There we go.
Well controlled.
Uh-oh.
That's okay. You can still save this. You got it. Well done. Let's go. Okay, so last time into the hairpin, we got it slowed maybe a bit too soon. So you can brake slightly later than you did last time. And you'll be absolutely fine. And get it really slow for the apex. So that felt like we came off the pressure, even though you knew you were still going a bit too quick. So don't give up on the brakes. Even if it's not going perfectly, just running a little bit wide is fine. It's better than going off, obviously. So that was a good speed through there. That's good. Really good. And you nailed this next corner on the last lap. So let's do that exactly the same. You basically have to stay tight quite long.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, a little bit faster than before into this one, so don't go in too slow, because we don't want to get back on the gas until about now. So a little bit like... That's okay, it will fix itself. A little bit like the main hairpin that we're kind of practicing over and over. That one you've just gone through, you don't want to be on the gas on the way into the corner. You want to be only on the gas on the way out, otherwise you run wide, like we did there. Okay, so... gentle brake, early turn in. We want to touch that red and white curb on the inside, but a bit earlier than we did that time. I reckon we're going to get into the 39s. The moment we get a clean lap where all these corners come together, you're going to break the 40-second barrier. So slightly earlier turn into this one. It's okay. This is fine. This is fine. Okay, no brakes into this one. Just a lift and a smooth turn. Nice. And then a smooth bit of gas. Awesome. That was easy. You had loads of space left.
Yeah.
So we can go in quicker next time.
I lifted the 2 off the gas. I could have held it a little.
Okay, decent. Let's get back on the gas. Nice. So really, I think the only thing that screwed you up into the next corner on the last couple of laps is maybe touching the grass. So just be careful not to go on the grass in the braking zone. Just get near it. But you can still brake as late as you did last time. Just make sure we stay on if we need to stay on. This is fine. And don't get on the gas till you're exiting. Then get on the gas. Hey, way better. Way better. And now quicker into this one. So just lift, no brake. Let's go. Nice. Looking... okay, that's fine. Oh, almost. Okay. Without the grass, you would have been good. And the rest of that lap was great. So let's just replicate that again. This is all just about repetition. Like, practicing it until it becomes easy. Okay, so we want to be tight near the exit. That's good. Now go into this one a bit quicker than you have been doing. And don't get on the gas until you're leaving the corner. Otherwise that happens. That's okay.
I get it, though.
Yeah, you're trying to go in slow and come out fast. We want to go in fast, and that'll get your angle better so you can come out on a better angle. And then you'll be able to actually go quicker on the exit. It's like an illusion. By trying to go out fast, you actually run wide and then come out slower. Okay, turn 1. Same as before. Good. Nice. Smooth on the gas. That's okay. You made it, so no brakes here. We'll talk about that turn 1 afterwards, because that was quite a good little it's quite a good little lesson in what happened there. I'll remember which lap this is. I want to show you on the video. Good positioning. Really good. Let's get back on the gas. Nice. It was absolutely spot on, your positioning into that corner. The only thing we can change is you can probably go in a little bit faster, so you can kind of bleed off the brakes a tiny bit earlier than you did on that lap. Right, let's do this hairpin, same as last time. Good, get it slowed right down, then on the gas. Awesome, by far the best you've done it. Now don't brake for this one, just lift and turn.
Oh, too late, sorry.
That's okay.
It definitely braked.
That's fine. Be careful of the grass. That's
did it
okay.
again.
If you are on the grass, if you find yourself in the position where you're on the grass, just get off the gas, basically. Otherwise, that happens. But that's just a life lesson. That's fine. That's a good lesson. But you've been doing all these corners really well. I know you are going to smash this lap time the moment we don't crash on one of the laps. Okay, so go in faster. Don't get on the gas till you know you're facing the right way. Then get on the gas. It's exactly the same concept as the hairpin we're practicing. You know this one's flat out. Easy. Great stuff. And then we're going to brake early, turn in early. So we're going to turn quite a bit earlier for that one. And then it'll be a much shorter line into there. Cool. Okay. Right, let's go again.
Okay.
Let's go again.
Okay, no crashing.
No crashing. But the driving is good when you're not on the grass. So we're going to go in a little earlier next time into turn 1, but that's fine. No drama. No brakes for turn 2. Just a lift and a smooth turn. And then a smooth reapplication of the throttle. That is awesome. Like, perfectly balanced, spot on, don't change it. So in a little earlier than before, that's good. Then you start to get on the gas. Let's go. Not perfect, but not bad at all. Right, now the last time you did this hairpin, it was about as good as I've seen anyone do it. So if you can do that again, I'll be super happy. But anything close is great. So just get it slowed right down. It's okay, you can still get it stopped. There, the good thing is now you're not giving up. Now, no brakes for this corner. Just lift and turn in early. Like, really early, and back on the gas. Easy, that's so much quicker. So much better. Excellent. Much, much better. That whole section is better. Okay, so nice and slow and tight round this one. So don't get on the gas until you know you're exiting tight. This one, slightly faster in, don't get on the gas. Just wait, then get on the gas. Yeah, so much better.
I think I went slightly slower on both sides, but at least I held it.
Okay, so an early turn in this time. And then back on the gas. That was better than before.
Okay,
so basically that, but even earlier and even faster on the gas. Right, let's do another one to cement that, and then we'll look at the data. 40.6, that's your best ever lap. Good stuff. That's okay. We're actually going to do one more after this. So think of this as a practice lap. You can clear your visor as well because it's filthy. Oh no, hang on. I'm looking at the replay screen, so actually it might be fine. You might be looking at a different visor. Okay, cool.
I just cleared it. Yeah. Okay.
It feels like you're finding a bit of a rhythm now, though, in how to stay on top of the car.
And I also can feel when I'm messing up too, you know?
Yeah.
I recognize where I'm messing up.
That's a great line. That's a really good line. Okay. Apart from when you... Yeah, you turned left. I think it was an overcorrection, but up until that point, it was great. Right, you've done the hairpin really well on a number of occasions now. So as long as you don't clip the grass on the way in, you're perfect.
No,
okay,
no,
but you still made it. You're still going to make it. You're still going to make it. So just don't give up on it. Now remember, we don't brake for this left-hander. You just lift and turn early. That's it. Back on the gas early as well. Nice. Try to avoid the grass on the exit of this one. Good. And as with all the hairpins, make sure you're off the throttle and going slowly when you're in the middle of the corner. That's it. And then it actually rotates. That's great. Same with this one. So you can actually go in a little bit quicker than that into this one, as long as you're off the throttle in the middle. Full throttle through the penultimate corner. And then quite an early diagonal line into this one. So an early brake, an early turn. That's okay.
Man, that one is really deceiving. Okay.
So we're just going to brake slightly earlier and turn earlier, and it'll be a much quicker corner. Right, one more lap. Let's do it. Nicely held. Okay, you know we don't break into this one. Yeah, man, this is so much quicker. And you're still perfectly accurate. Like, you're hitting the apex perfectly. Nice, then you can start to squeeze the gas. Let's go. Full power, let's go. That was all great. Okay, I'm going to show you on a slow-mo replay afterwards for something we can tweak, but largely perfect through there, so no dramas. Just keep it off the grass on the entry to this one. Keep the brake on because you're going blooming fast. Well done. That's fine. You can save that. Let's keep going. This could be a really good lap. Just a lift into here. Well done. You're getting much better feel for the car on the limit now. Okay, so don't try and drive too fast through the middle of these hairpins. So it's slow in the middle section. And stay off the gas until you're through the middle. Nice. Faster into this one, though. Good. Not quite that fast, but I like the effort. Let's finish the lap. Keep going. So we just didn't lift early enough that time. That's fine. Flat out into this one. And then a brake and an early turn. That's better. Much better. Oh. Okay, we got back on the power slightly early, but the early turn was way better.
I got distracted by the cut the lap or whatever I did there.
Yeah. The penultimate corner, we just cut a little bit too much. But that's fine. That's good stuff to work with. So just stop the car anywhere there.
All right. Not my best time.
No, that one wasn't.
Better.
The lap 2 laps before was, though. The lap 2 laps before was genuinely your best ever time. So that's good. So we'll look at that data. Before that, though, let's just look at some video. So make sure you can see my screen again. I just want to show you a couple of things. So let's make sure I can see the steering wheel. I'm going to just change the view slightly so that we can see the steering wheel a bit more clearly. Bear with me. Let's zoom out a little bit. Right, can you see my screen now?
Yep.
Right, so I've just changed the view here slightly. I normally have a slightly higher view, but I wanted you to be able to see the steering wheel clearly. I think this is the lap I'm talking about, so let me just watch it quickly. Because there was a bit of like a lesson here. Yeah, okay, right, this was it. This was the one I wanted to show you. Okay, so this was like 2 laps ago or something like that. It wasn't your fastest lap. But going into turn 1, something happened that I just wanted to use as a bit of a kind of a point to remember because it will help you in future laps. So into turn 1, this is all fine. This is fine, right? That's the amount of steering angle you normally need. This is fine, right? You always get through this corner with this much steering angle. I'm going to put it in slow-mo now. And then the car starts to understeer about here. You feel it pushing wide. So you apply more and more and more and more and more steering. And it goes wider and wider and wider. And at this point, we're on like maximum steering angle. And it's not helping us turn any better. And look, and as you reduce the steering, suddenly it actually turns better. So you probably know what I'm about to say here. But don't mistake understeer for you not having turned the wheel far enough. If it's understeering, if you know what understeer is, if the front of the car is sliding, and you've sensed the front is sliding because it's not going where you're telling it to, it's going wider than you're telling it to, you're already going too quick for the amount of steering lock you currently have. So if you apply more steering lock, you're definitely going too quick for the amount of steering lock you have. So all you're doing is like doubling the problem. So by applying more angle, you're going to have to go slower for the front end to grip, not faster, if that makes sense. So at this point here, you're trying to accelerate. So what you should be doing is either maintaining the steering angle or reducing it, not applying more. And if maintaining it means you're still understeering, you're just going too quick for that amount. You've got to slow down or like lift a bit. So the cure for understeer, and I know this is obvious stuff in the cold light of day when you're not actually in a lap. The cure for understeer is reduce speed or reduce steering angle. Normally it's maintain the correct amount of steering angle and reduce throttle. That's the cure. But what you did here, which is what most people do to begin with, is you want more throttle, so you keep applying throttle, but you just apply more and more steering angle and nearly go off. So next time, the moment you sense the understeer, reduce throttle momentarily, suddenly the car will turn better, then you can get back on the gas, instead of going wider, wider, you'll be tighter and back to full throttle earlier. So in this instance, now you get back to full throttle. So we're all the way like exiting the corner. If you'd have kind of, look at the front wheels. If you'd have recognised the understeer here, lifted here, by now you'd be back to full throttle because the car would still be here. But by kind of persevering with the same throttle or more and just increasing the lock, all you do is go wider, 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 wider. So just keep in mind when you feel it understeering that I am already going too quick for this much steering. So more steering just adds to the problem. That's the thing to bear in mind. Anyway, right, that's the only reason I wanted to show you that, because it's quite it was just such an obvious example of it, that was all. Right, let's go to your quickest lap, which was this one here. And let's watch how it's done. And then we'll look at the data. Right, so even though this was your quickest lap, there's tons of time to find at turn 1, because we've basically gone past the corner. Like, we want to be here, like over here somewhere, turning in, like, here. But we waited, and then got it in. So turn 1, there's a chunk of time to find. Easy lap time. You'll find that, if you did another run, you'd find that straight away. So that's good. It's good that you're so wide there, and you've still got your best lap, because it means we can easily go quicker. This, you have massively improved turn 2. Like, just by not braking and just guiding the car through. Look at that. Beautiful. Like, really nice. Just really, really good through there. So I'll write some notes, and I'll give you a green tick for that one.
Okay.
Right, here.
Good.
Really nice. Good positioning. I cannot fault you on your positioning. Like, that is flirting with disaster, but on this occasion, it was perfect. So, good job, basically. Maybe build in one tyre width more margin than that for safety
right.
on other laps, but you either fluked or nailed it there. Right. This was good, except just there. So there's a moment here where you're headed towards the grass, and you were like, I'm just going to keep going towards the grass. Whereas, I know it's easier said than done, but if you could have recognised here that I've probably got a bit too much steering lock on, I can just reduce it a bit, you'd have apexed, like, there rather than back here, and you wouldn't have had to, like, turn like away from the grass and then turn again. You'd have just had, like, one smooth arc. So... yeah. That's the only thing I'd change there. Like, when you realise, it's turning like a bit too well, just reduce it to the amount you actually need. This will all come easier. Obviously, at the moment, there's a lot of conscious thought in order to guide the car to where we need it to go. The more we do, the more of this stuff moves into subconscious, and your conscious thought is freed up for this kind of stuff. So don't worry, this is just normal, quite new driver stuff, so it's fine. But you exited pretty well. You just had like a bit of like an S that you didn't need. That was all. Yeah, a little bit of a wobble, but still pretty damn good. Right, what happens here? Right, okay. So it definitely wasn't your most ideal entry, but there's a reason you made the most of it. So because of the hard braking, the car got sideways. Like hard braking, and I think we clipped the grass. Let's have a look.
Yeah. I locked. Yeah, that's what happened. I can tell it got away from me, and then there's also a load of like crap on the track from where you've been off in the grass here before, so that probably doesn't help. That's my stuff. I didn't realize.
I think it is. I think it is. But the main thing is that you got on the grass like that. So it was grass plus heavy braking equaled the car spat you across to the right. However, what was really good was in previous runs you would have gone, oh well, screw it, and kind of come off the brakes and give up. You didn't give up. You kept the brake on, even though this angle was way tighter than it wanted to be. You kept the brake on. You actually got the car slowed sufficiently. Now, what you didn't do was crank on the steering lock here. You waited until the car slowed right down. Now you got the lock on, and it actually bloody turned because you were going slow enough to do it. Look at that rotation. It's actually turning before you'd have been off over here somewhere. Look, it's turning. You're getting now slightly closer to the inside. Then you got back on the power. So it was that kind of having that sequence in your mind, like heavy braking, reduce the braking, wait, power. That's what is like fixing it for you through here now. That combination is meaning you go in quicker, you stay tight, you come off accurately and, at the right line. So much, much better. We'll look at the data in a minute. You will have done this corner better on a different lap, but well done, basically, for getting through there and still having your fastest lap. So we've seen at least two massive errors, maybe three on this lap, and it was still your best lap. We basically missed turn 1. We had like a wobble in the long right-hander before the long straight. We nearly spat it off in the hairpin and just hung on. This was still your best lap ever. So there's loads of free lap time here. Right, what happened in this fast left-hander? Better. Good line. So the only thing now is we can go in even faster than that. So you can maybe get slightly wider here, but it's actually not the end of the world in this corner to be a little bit narrower because you don't have that much time to get all the way to the right. But ideally we'd be like here. And we're just going quicker. But that line is where you want to be. In fact, you can even tuck a tyre on the grass or fully on the curb there. But before you were like round here. So this is way better. Exit. Yeah, and the fact that you were able to exit here and you weren't forced over here shows that there was a bit more speed you could have carried. But you're getting used to what the entry trajectory should be, so that's fine, no problem. This is great. Using this bit is great. Nice and smooth. We didn't go on the grass this time. Great. And again, you could carry a tiny bit more speed because you weren't forced onto the curb, but on the other laps you were out here on the grass, so I was happy with that. That's fine. Right, what happened with the hairpins here? So we got in a little early, like we turned in maybe a slightly sharply. So I'd say we want to be hitting the inside about here, and we got to it early, which means it's then going to be really tight for the rest of the corner. But that's fine. Again, we're kind of getting closer and closer and closer to the ideal. And this was actually one of the worst laps in terms of the exit line, like being all the way out here when we want to be like here. Other laps you exited better. That's all because of this. But you can kind of see where that's going to end up. If you apex there, you're facing out of the corner. Because we apexed here, I mean, look where the car's facing. If you draw like a natural line, it's going to go straight on to exactly where you went. That makes total sense that it goes over here. So you know what to do to fix that. Fortunately, you didn't actually lose it, and you'd made up enough time in the rest of the lap that this was still good. What's that, 4th or 5th big error that's easy to fix, and it's still your best lap? So again, that's one of the best lines I've seen you do there. That is exactly where you want to apex on the second hairpin. And although on this occasion, actually, you were a little bit too late getting on the gas, before you were getting on the power like here. Now, now it's like here. So now you waited just a bit too long. But that's the correct direction. You know, it's way better to wait a bit too long and make it through the corner than to get on too early and end up over here like we were on like every other lap. So it's about letting the car rotate. Now, obviously, we want to let the car rotate at the highest speed it can get away with. We're probably slightly under the limit. So it's a bit too easy for it to rotate at this point. But, again, you've got to do it like this before you can keep then creeping up to the limit. So you're kind of getting a mental connection now between when I do this, the car does this. Like, when I stay off the gas, it doesn't run off the track on the exit. It stays tight. Okay, well, now we can get on the gas a little bit earlier and go up to the edge, not off the edge. And that's kind of how we're going to keep getting closer and closer and closer to that ideal. Okay, we still did a teeny bit of carrying on. No, I'm being harsh. We did a tiny bit of turning longer than the corner carried on for, but not a lot. The fact was we could have just let it carry on running out to the edge. But that's fine. You're not used to exiting so tight as this, that's all. But then you do go all the way to the left before the turning point, so I'll let you off. A little bit of grass again. Didn't quite hook a tyre over the inside, but still went through there fast. And we didn't use all the track on the exit. So again, more and more obvious free lap time when you see it like this, when you've got time to look back on it.
I think this one, I don't know, intuitively, I go through a turn and then, then there's a straight section and then I go through a turn.
Yeah.
I almost feel like there's no straight section here, right? Like, I need to get on the turn way faster.
Yeah,
right?
It's pretty short. Like, it is a very short straight. I think what we haven't done yet is really talk about where you should be looking. Now, that's quite a tricky thing to force yourself to look in the right places. And when you get really good, you don't have to force yourself at all. You'll just be naturally looking in the right places. But I think partly it feels like you're maybe, and I'm not using an eye tracker on you, but this is what it looks like from this corner, for example. Maybe your vision is like a little bit low, and we need to like lift your vision up a bit so that you're anticipating where you're going to be going next before you get there. So just for example, when we're going to this corner, I'm like here, I'm looking here. It's almost like you realise at the last minute that we need to be over here and then turn. So it's like, now we turn. But we could have got it angled in. In fact, let's do it in slow-mo. It's easier in slow-mo. So right now I'm already looking here. So my eyes are over here. I'm using my peripheral vision to get the car to the left, but I'm looking here. And I'm like turning. I'm like guiding the car to where the cursor is here. But we're like a bit delayed behind that. And now you've got no chance to get over there because we're that bit later. So that's something we'll maybe just talk about as like a heads up before the next run, before when we do our next session, just so it's in the back of your mind. It doesn't mean you're going to remember it straight away or perfect it, but it's a good thing to be aware of at least. But anyway, that was still a better turn-in than on some other laps, so you're kind of like halfway there. Right, so let's look at some data before we finish, and I'll make some notes on this. So I'll tell you what we can do is bin that one off, and bin that one off, and just take your latest one, because it is now your fastest lap ever. There we go. Hey, look at that. And purple. 3 of the sectors were your best ever sectors. That's really good. Let's add it to that. Let's make it the right colour. Right, cool. This is looking more like it. Look at turn 1. Look at your braking into turn 1. Like, this is spot on. Like, where you lifted, identical to me. Where you braked, actually a little bit later. But because you're braking a slight bit harder, you got away with it. But in the middle of the braking zone, you're like 3 kilometers an hour quicker than me. The only thing that went wrong here, or the main thing, is the line. We already spoke about this, but look at how I'm kind of just going to the apex, whereas you kind of went past the corner and then turned back. So that, coupled with staying on the brakes really hard a bit too long, that's what went wrong there. I think you stayed on hard because you were expecting to turn in later, but we're just gonna bleed off a bit like with the hairpin and just send it to the
side. you know the other thing that this pedal has trained me is that if I'm braking in a straight, my car is stable. If I'm braking and I'm turning the wheel, I'm much more likely to lose control. So if I want to be fast, I brake straight, lift completely, and then gun it. Like, that's just the way that it's been teaching me.
And that is how most people are actually taught on track days or in like initial learning how to drive on a track session. It's always brake in a straight line, finish the braking, then turn in, then get back on the gas. And then the moment the driver is competent and good enough, we then say to them, right, all that stuff about only braking in a straight line, forget that. That was all a load of crap. That was just to get you to this point. Now we're going to start braking in a straight line, but then do this, like the blue line is doing. Like, do your heavy braking in a straight line, and then as you start to turn the wheel, gradually reduce the braking. So obviously you're right. You can't get away with the same amount of pressure that you're getting here when you're here, because you're just going to spin. But you can get away with a bit less pressure. You just reduce the amount of weight transfer. You're just like bleeding off, just like we were doing into the hairpin. So that will be vastly easier with the stiffer pedal, I guarantee you. So that there, easy lap time. How much did we actually lose? In that one corner, we lost 0.6 of a second. That's easy to fix because your braking point and the early braking is spot on now. We're just going to get to this point just before we want to turn in, then start bleeding off. I'm still decelerating, just not at the same rate, because from here to here, I'm doing quite a lot of turning, and I need to be braking less. So that's what we're going to do. You can see yours is very square because of what we know about your brake pedal. Right, next corner, way better than before. Like, this is way closer. Like, yeah, okay, we're still lifting a little early, but no drama. We're going to lift later. And then, although I said no brakes into this corner, if you lift later and we carry more speed, you're going to just need a teeny bit of brake. But at the moment, we're not probably capable of doing that kind of level of small brake because it's like all or nothing on your pedal. So don't worry. What you were doing was a good compromise. Then, look at this. This is so good. Oh, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. I'm jumping ahead to the bit that I really like the look of, which is a vastly improved hairpin. Right, okay, so into the long right-hander. No W shape, but that kind of flat U shape we were talking about. So we slowed it a little bit early. You see my brake shape again into here. Heavy braking in the straight, and then like less, like quite linear, less as I get to the apex. Little bit of kind of a tweak there. That last little bit is like, I think I need a little bit more. And then nothing, no pedals. and then pretty heavily back on the gas. Yours was because we slowed a bit early, and then we kind of just were being careful. There's this plateau, but I'm fine with that. That's a great stepping stone from what you were doing before. So that's fine. Let's wait until we fix the brake pedal, and then we'll be able to be more precise with this modulation. Right. Here's the main event here. The hairpin and the following 2 corners. Look how much better your entry to there is. And this is one where you were completely out of control. Like, look at the line you took. Look at what happened. You were like grass straight to the inside, and it was still way better than you were doing before, because of what you were doing here, because you stayed on the brakes long enough, and because you were patient with the throttle. Look at your throttle application and mine. Look at this. It's like the same. Nothing here, then back on heavily. Like, you waited until the car had rotated, then you got hard on the gas. It's music to my eyes, or whatever the correct version of that is. Yeah. Then the next 2 corners, it just mirrors what I'm doing so much more closely than before. Like look at the way you're getting on and off the throttle here. It's like at the same time. And, okay, yeah, you're still a little bit slower than I'm carrying through the middle, but the line's pretty damn good, and it's much, much closer. So actually now I feel like we should introduce your best lap from before, just to show you how much better you are through there. And then I'll get off the call so I don't get in trouble with my other half. So this was what you did before. So let's take it. This was your best lap from your offline testing. So let's add this in and make it green. Okay, so the green one is what you'd done before this session, just for like a comparison. Right, so let's start with turn 2. Look how much slower you were before. You fixed that massively, way better. Okay, into the long right-hander at the bottom, you were slightly quicker on your offline one. Similar style. It's like, I don't know what the hell's happening with the pedal here, like on off, on off, on off, on off, and then the same with the gas pedal. It's like it wasn't calibrated, or it was having some kind of glitch. Like, that's bizarre. But but you've now recalibrated, so it's not doing that. But anyway, this is where you gain a bit of time back on your offline testing one. But here we go. Look at the hairpin. Look at what you're doing before. Brake too much, speed back up, brake again, speed back up, way too slow into the next one. The red line is way better here and here, even though the hairpin, you made a big mistake. So, great. So, yeah, quicker there. Let's have a look at the final few corners. Right, final turn. Actually, you didn't do as well on your best lap, so there's some lap time there to be had. We knew that because we saw that you turned in a bit too late. We've already discussed that. Yeah. Hairpin number... Oh, it's hairpin 2, actually, isn't it? I call it hairpin 1 because I think of it as 1 and 2, but that's number 1, isn't it? So, hairpin 2. The red one now, so red is your most recent one. Yeah, we said this. You went in a little bit quick in the middle and went in a bit too early. We already looked at the video and it pushed you wide. So that wasn't as good. So again, you've lost some time there, free lap time. But the second hairpin, I think, is better. Because look at the green. You were having a minimum speed, like, after the corner. The green line on that final hairpin, you were going way too wide, and you were doing your slower speed there. Which is weird because the corner is back here. Like, this is where we should be going slow, not here. So you've largely fixed that now. Not perfected it, but largely fixed it. So, great. And look, now with the red line, you're able to get to full throttle there before you're having to wait to here. You definitely had some weird calibration issue before, which we've now fixed by recalibrating. And then final corner, we know wasn't as good. So, despite there being areas that you were better previously, just because of, some laps you don't pull it all together, you still improved by a massive amount, and the thing we actually focused on was, like, clearly miles better. So, good job. Yeah. Excellent job.
All right.
So I'm going to just make a couple of notes before we finish. So let's just say, all right, turn 1. Let's look into the corner earlier. So we'll focus on this a bit more next time. We'll use a different track, but we'll talk about this kind of thing. So, like, looking where you want to go a little bit earlier and turn in earlier with a higher minimum speed. I know you're not going to go back up. We're not going to come back and do this track again next time. But, I mean, you're welcome to still practice it and see if you can do these things we're talking about. I'm giving you a green tick here for turn 2. This is way better. Happy with that. Next corner here. generally this corner was good. On this lap, we just used a bit too much steering. And got on and then off the grass on the inside. So that was just that one where we said we kind of turned a bit too far, then had to turn away, and that probably contributed to a lower minimum speed. I'm giving you a green tick for the hairpin, because although this isn't perfect yet, it's a huge improvement. And I think the style that you're doing into there now is like going to start unlocking more and more corners. These two corners, I'm giving you a yellow, but it's a positive yellow. Way better again.
Mm-hmm.
We will work on even higher mid-corner speeds at a different track. But similar corners. These two hairpins, we haven't perfected this yet, these last two hairpins, but we'll try and implement the same technique as the first hairpin. Because those are pretty standard shaped corners. Like, those corners, 180 degree hairpin, there. That's like on loads of tracks. So if you can do these ones well, you know how to do a hairpin. Like, you just... Obviously, then the compromise is how long is the following straight. And depending on how long that following straight is, we'll turn in either slightly earlier or slightly later and focus on entry or exit. But the general rule of feeling the car rotate and being patient with the gas and then introducing it smoothly when you know it's rotated enough, not just hoping it has and going, oh, we went wide this time. Like, you will get a bit more into like the quick feedback loop of assessing what's the car doing. It's doing the thing I want. Good. That now I can get on the power. Or what's the car doing? It's not doing the thing I want. I need to wait longer. Like that little kind of quick feedback loop over and over and over and over as many times as possible in each corner. That's what we'll kind of get better and better at. And then final corner, we can turn in earlier and look to the apex earlier to help this. And again, that's going to be similar on all fast corners going forward. So there we go. Right, I'm going to stop the recording.